Hello. I'm live. Okay. Okay. Hey, everybody. I am back. Episode 3. Raw Rebel Talk. Um, Now I know I guess I apologize. Let me go ahead and apologize first. I'm super exhausted. Started my third job today, and let's just say I'm running low on fumes of energy. So after this, I'm probably gonna okay the fuck oh. But anyway, um, the next thing I want to talk about is thank you. I really have to give thank you to everybody that is watching my videos. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all your support. Um, it's been a pleasure. Everybody that's subscribing, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you do have any comments or whatever, I'm always available. You can always comment on anything. Let me know how I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. If you want. I don't really care. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, I appreciate it, but I'm going to do this every Thursday regardless of if you want me to or not. But anyway, so today's topic for today was going to be about my story, which is basically starting with a character. It's just a character, and it's going to be kind of brief. I don't want to do it too long. And honestly, I guess the reason why I'm going back into it is it's kind of like a closing, and to let you guys know what you can be expecting from something, quote unquote, or hint, hint. I don't know why the fuck I did that. Anyway, hint, hint. You can be expecting something in the future regarding this information. So, uh, let's start. Okay, so this story, I guess, is basically, yeah, it's about me. Um, but it's a certain chapter or something. Yeah, it's a chapter. So this chapter is called Mr. Red, which is basically red or whatever you want to fucking call him. I don't care. He's got a real name in real life, and it's not Red, obviously, but Red is his name for the story purposes, and because I don't need some people. Some people I'm going to be talking about are still part of my life, and blah 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 blah, and I don't need other people to know who the hell I'm talking about. Plus, for privacy purposes, you don't need to know really all this person's business. But anyway, I mean, you will, but you don't need to know exactly who I'm talking about. Anyway, oh, shit, that feels good. So, anyways, all right, where to begin? Where to begin? So when I met Mr. Red, I met him in middle school. So this is back in like 2003, 2004. Yeah, around this time. So I was a youngin', probably like 13, 14. Yeah. 13, 14 years old. This is where I met him. First time I met him though, I'll be honest, I was not attracted at all. Like, I'm telling you, it was basically like, like, no, like, boy, bye type stuff. Yeah, I was a little fresh one back in middle school, too. So, oh, do I need a shave? Uh, anyway, so he like approached me. And I don't even remember if I like remembered him. Like, I know he was a new kid at school. My middle school was like one where you don't really like didn't have like a lot of grades. I don't know, like many of the middle schools down here and um or whatever, but he or my middle school only had two grades, which was seventh and eighth grade. So that was the whole school, seventh and eighth grade. So I don't think he was there for seventh grade because I don't remember him during that time. But I know he was a new kid. So I had this problem too where I didn't really like new people. Not didn't like them, but yeah, I pretty much didn't like him. I don't know. Maybe I don't fucking know. Anyways, different type going off topic. So, anyways, he was new and I could tell he was new and he was trying to talk to me about something. I don't remember what it was. I don't recall what he said. The only thing I remember from our incident, like when he approached me, was these pink Nikes, like these pink Air Force Ones, I think it was. And I thought this nigga was fucking stupid for wearing these. Like he had these pink ass, bright ass shoes on. Didn't match with anything he was wearing, which I assume means that he just wanted to fucking show out because you don't even have anything that matches with them. You just want to show off your shoes. Um, Whatever. Anyways, so that was that. And then I think I don't know when I actually grew attraction for him, but it was like a while after. Like it was like I don't know, maybe it could have been that he like started catching the attention of all other females, blah 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 blah. Maybe that was the reason. But anyways, so he uh he ended up joining like the tracks team, so he was gone. He after school would go on meets or whatever. So I was slick. I was I was slick. So I decided I was gonna join a track team, right? The next time it came up for track. So I joined the track team. Come to find out, this motherfucker was not on the same thing as me. So yeah, that kind of sucked. But anyways, I got to see him sometimes, like once in a blue moon. It was pretty cool. Um, and I would try to flirt as much as possible. Blah blah blah. So, anyways, I don't know. Middle school, okay, something that really happened, and I apologize if your family you're watching this. Oh well, you about to know some of my business. So yes, like I said, I was fresh and fresh in middle school. Yeah, I knew some shit. So, uh, I will tell you that we started getting like really attracted to each other, and we would flirt here and there. And then one thing that was, I guess, significant was that I pulled him into like the little corridors or whatever, like the stairwells. You know, the stairwells have like the doors. You push the doors and you're just in the stairwell until you climb up the stairs and then go to the other door, push that door. So basically, the stairwell is just its own section of the school. So we went into like the stairwell and we were kissing, making out, whatever. And I guess he wanted to reach in my pants to feel on me. So I guess I don't know, fucking know. I guess I was really aware of myself back then. I, I don't know because I wasn't really doing much for myself. But anyways, so he reached in my pants and he was trying to find stuff, and I was like he was feeling on I think like the outside like the labia and clit and all of that bullshit. You know, I don't fucking know the real names for it. All I know is in my vagina. Anyways, so he started feeling around on everything, and I'm like we're kissing and kissing, and then I just got mad because I'm like, boy, where are you going? Like, where are you going? Obviously, he didn't know what he was doing, so his, I reached and grabbed his hand. I said, no, not there, it's here, and I answered his. I made him force his hands inside of me. So then, um, like I don't know. Pretty much after that, we were pretty much like not a thing or anything. I don't want to say a thing, but um clearly we were a little bit more closer than normal. I think I can barely remember this shit. It's like bits and pieces. So, but I know I did get mad at him like maybe like closer towards the end of the school year. I know when yeah, it was getting closer to the end of the school year and I was getting very upset with him because I found out he was dating somebody, one of the other girls in school. Like I'm not gonna say I was the best looking girl in school, but I was one of the best looking girls in school, apparently. apparently, from what I was told. So he like was dating one of the other good looking girls in school. So I was like, nigga, you seriously was messing with me and the stairwell and all this other bullshit, and we've been kissing, making out, blah blah blah, flirting, going back and forth, and you got so and so, that's your girl. That pissed me off. So I basically stopped talking to him for the rest of the school year until like the end of the year, because the very last day, um, because I had found out from my family that we were going to be moving. So moving to Florida. Clearly, this is all in Connecticut, by the way. If you guys aren't aware of my background, this was all in Connecticut. So I moved. We ended up moving to Florida. So now moved to Florida, and well, whatever. No, wait. So the very last day of school, it was kind of sad because I was like crying and blah blah blah, and I was gonna miss everybody. So I was missing my best friend. So I seen him, and we kind of made eye contact in the hallway, and I know I gave him a hug because obviously I was gonna be leaving. So come to find out, my family said that my mom pops were moving to Florida first because they had to sell the house, whatever. So I got to stay with my best friend for like 1 week, and then my grandmother for the next week. And before we took the flight ourselves, me, my sister, and my brother, to Florida to move to Florida. Blah blah blah. So the week with my sister, or my I'm sorry, the week with my friend was amazing because her parents weren't as strict as mine. My parents was pretty strict, so didn't have like much. I didn't go out as much or do much. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. So when I was with her, her mom was pretty cool, like more lenient. She would let her go out and do stuff, whatever. So we used to walk to the, like walk down to like this the super center or whatever. There's like the strip, like the strip where it had a bunch of stores. It had like a Walmart or whatever, and the movie theater, blah blah blah. So we would go to the movies sometimes. We would go to the strip sometimes. We go hang out and do stuff. So it was pretty cool. Then we would go to the library. So I the cool thing about this, I had convinced my parents to get me a cell phone. So had my cell phone, so I was able to text and I think call people. I think I was able to call him, Mr. Red, and so I would meet Red at the library or whatever. And just same thing. We would be flirting and whatever, and just talking, kissing, more touchy, touchy, la, 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 all this other bullshit. And then, oh yeah, and then I went to go spend time with my aunt. Now my aunt is fucking awesome too. My aunt actually lived not too far away from him, and we had made plans to try to meet up, so that way we could have, sex. No, I don't know. I don't know if it was gonna happen or not, but I know that he didn't live too far from there. But I think it never worked out on whatever. So, and anyways, long story short, I ended up moving to Florida. Didn't really have any way of contacting him after that, or I don't know what happened after that. I think we just kind of fell off. So years, and I'm talking about years, whole entire fucking high school went by before I ever heard from him again. And high school, I went through some changes, blah 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 blah, all this bullshit. I think he hit me up when I was in senior, when I finally hit senior. So I was about a senior when he hit me up and was trying to talk to me. And I remember I blew him off again. Yo, I told his ass I was no longer attracted to him. Like I found him ugly. And this nigga was so hurt, like so hurt. Um but yeah, so then but then I don't know. Then I guess later down the road I ended up uh talking to him again. I don't know how, but I guess I must have hit him up and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" That, "Hey, buddy, how you doing? How you going? Hey, stranger." I was the worst. So I hit him up and I'm like I guess he was attracted to me again. Whatever. Anyways, so then we started growing we started like talking because obviously he was still in Connecticut and I'm in Florida. Um, so, and I think this is around, yeah, like this is around 17, 18 years old that I am. And me and him used to talk on the phone, and I'm talking hours about a lot of different things. I don't remember most of the sometimes we didn't even talk. Sometimes we was on the phone just breathing. You know how fucking little kids were back in the day, or if you remember back in the day, you had that little puppy dog crush or whatever the fuck they used to call that shit. Anyways, so we used to just be on the phone sometimes, listen to each other breathe. Then we fall asleep on the phone, and all of this bullshit. Like we were like pretty much really cool with one another, and then feelings started to get involved, and we really was starting to fall for one another. At least he was falling for me. I was still fucking around with people. Telling you, I was bad. I was bad. Like, oh my god. Oh, we would have like our little phone sex things or whatever. Um, I think I don't know. Was I sending nudes back then? Probably was. I mean, I was like I said, I was a little badass. Anyway, so probably sending nudes here and there, whatever, doing whatever, keeping him entertained. He would send me pictures too, not like dick pics. I'm sorry, but dick pics is never ever ever attractive to me. It's like, okay, your penis. It's I don't care. Anyways, so uh, so what else? So me and Red would talk all the time, and then I think we'd fall off every now and then. I would get jealous because sometimes I would he wouldn't talk to me or whatever the case may be, or I don't know. He's acted weird sometimes. So, but as far as I know, as far as I was aware, he was in a relationship. I wasn't really in a relationship. I just kind of messed around with certain people. I was like kind of in this one relationship, in and out. Not in and out, but I was messing around with people, like my best friend and this other guy. But that other guy, I don't know. Anyways, so uh, so to skip ahead, I ended up um, signing up, going in the Air Force. Yes, I went to the Air Force. Yep. And that's when things got, I guess, very more, um, I guess, more serious. More serious. It got real serious. When I got into the Air Force, he would actually. It got so serious. He would write me because I was in basic. In basic, if you don't know, you don't have your phone, so you have no contact whatsoever. Like no way to contact like anybody. You go in, blah blah blah, whatever. They take all your electronic and stuff like that, whatever. So you don't have your phone. So um, but people could write you letters. So it was. I gave him. He had the address to write me letters. So he would write me letters, and I used to have them, like all the letters he wrote me, but I threw them all away. Or I'll get to that part. Anyway, so so after like okay, after basic you go to your like training thing, which is like another couple months. So I went to my training thing. There we still I think we kind of fell off. We kind of yeah, we fell off for a little bit. I didn't really talk to him that much. I don't know what was the deal. I don't know what was going on or whatever. But I know we weren't as serious. So I was doing my thing. Never once did we ever establish what our relationship was. We never did. We never once did. We just kind of were talking on the phone. That's it. So I was assuming we were both doing what the fuck we wanted to do. At least I was. I was fucking with people I wanted to fuck with. Blah, 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 blah. Um, anyways, so after the training done, you get like you get sent to your permanent base, like which is means like you're now it's like you graduate and then you go act to actual work. So they flew me out to Nebraska. So I'm living in Nebraska now, and uh that's I'm working in Nebraska. So that was my permanent base. So I wasn't leaving that base for any reason unless they put in a transfer for me to go somewhere else or whatever. Or I asked to go somewhere else or blah blah blah, whatever. So um so anyways, so then I don't know how, but we ended up talking again. Then it got serious. Like serious to the point where we're saying I love yous to one another. We're exchanging I love yous. We're promising each other shit like that promise like we're not gonna fuck with other people type shit. And then he would occasionally ask me, and I would lie. I would lie. I didn't. It wasn't like intentional. It was just I didn't want to hurt him, and it wasn't like and well, I'll get to that part. I'll get to that point, but um, I didn't. It's not that I was like I don't know. Well, it was. It was. I was trying to hide the fact that I was sleeping with other people. Point blank. Period. I was trying to hide that fact because up until okay, I was trying to hide it because up until this point, I really hadn't really exchanged I love yous with anybody, and I didn't know really what love was type shit. Like, I was sleeping people, but I wasn't like in love with anybody. I had like huge crushes. I'd be like, I really liked you, nigga, you fucking dumbass. But I wasn't like really in love with them. Like, I was like crushing on them hard. But anyways, so I would say I love you. I would say I love you to him, but it was like more like a because you said it, you kind of said it back type shit. Like it's and I feel like, we're kind of at that point. I don't know. That's kind of how I felt. So, anyways, uh I still wasn't taking it like so super seriously. I was like, okay, I love you too. And I did. I felt like love like was a perfect thing for us. It's hard to fucking explain. All I know is that I was lying to try to protect him because I didn't want him to know I was sleeping with other people. But I was sleeping with other people because we had not established our relationship. We never said what we were. Just because you say you love me does not mean, that's exactly what we are. And then technically, we never even promised that we weren't going to sleep with other people. He just out the blue came out of nowhere and said, uh, you're not sleeping with anybody else, right? Because I'm not sleeping with anybody else. And I kind of said, yeah, type shit. So, anyways, what's it called? So we never did. None of those things were promised. None of the, all of this, right? And this is important. So next thing I know, um, it got to the point where I was like, I want to see you. I really want to see you. I really want to see you. I really want to see you. So I took a plane. I went out to go see him. Um, and I kid you not, like, I don't really remember much about that. Like, I went for the weekend. I don't really remember much about that weekend, but I know after that, my life pretty much changed. Like, I never knew that you could care about somebody like the way I cared about Red. Like, it was like strange. It was like, what the fuck just happened? And it, it I mean, basically what happened was I went out to go see him. Um, it was like kind of like a like weird. It was like nice to see him. Like it felt good. I think we were both in a comfortable place. We felt comfortable around each other. It was still like shy. I was still shy, but it was like still like it felt warm. And then like little things that didn't make sense to me. Like there was a present that was in the back of his car that I like seen, but he didn't mention anything about it. He didn't bring it up. He didn't say whose present it was for. But it like crossed my mind, like what the fuck, whose present is that? Type shit crossed my mind. You know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't bother to ask about it or anything because I figured that's not really important right now. So anyway, so then we got back to his apartment. Duh, we ended up sleeping together. If you didn't know, which I can't remember, to be honest, how good, bad, whatever. Um, then I think like the next day or the whatever, it was hard. The next night, I think I was upset because I didn't want to get back on the plane, and I think we were trying to stay up all night, me and him, and it was like tough. It was tough. When then we got on the plane, basically I was crying a little. I think I was crying. I can't remember if I was crying or not actually, but I know he want. If you ever ask him, he'll always say he was crying. He was crying when he went back to his car. He was looking at the plane go by and he started bawling. That's what he says. Or he said he was crying. He'll always say, he always tells me that story or that part of the story. Anyways, so uh what's it called? So it was emotional. It was very deeply connected. I mean, this was what we met 2004 and 2000 it was 2008, 2009. No, 2009, 2010. 2010 when we finally got to reunite with one another. So it was like, what the fuck? Like, and this is after like maybe 2 years of already talking on the phone, like like on and off talking on the phone. Like that's a lot. Like people don't even do that type of shit no more. Like relationships don't do shit like that no more. So you can understand that that connection was like awesome. That was like, damn, that's like you're my best friend. Like, hi best friend. Like, hi best friend. Like we already knew about each other, and none of it happened. Nothing had anything to do with sex. It was all more so like we actually had conversations, but whatever. Anyways, so uh after after that, uh it was tough being, you know, away from him. I kind of wanted to talk to him more and blah blah blah. It was weird though. I guess because he felt a connection, like because the connection got deeper, it it started to put trust on the line. Like I think he didn't trust me no more, being far away. Like our trust definitely got. That's when our trust was definitely being tested, and he felt the need to ask me again. Like after we had already discussed it, like he said that hey, he wanted to ask me, oh, have you ever had sex before me type shit, or were have you ever had unprotected sex before? Yeah, that's right. That's I had unprotected sex with him. So anyways, have you ever had unprotected sex before me? Blah 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 before. And yeah, I didn't. I wasn't gonna lie about it. Yeah, I did. So, um, he was like, "Oh, did you have sex with anybody when you said that you weren't having sex with anybody?" And at this point, I felt like we established something because we had sex, which maybe I was wrong about that too. Maybe I was fucking wrong about that. Oh well. Maybe I should have been on the same page. But I assumed we had established a relationship. That's what I assumed. At, as soon as I went up there to go see him, because that's a big ass fucking. Who the fuck goes to see somebody that just because? I ain't flying nowhere for no dick. You're fucking crazy. You're fucking crazy. Anyways, so like I so anyways, no. So I he asked me that question. I didn't feel like I needed to lie anymore. Like I felt like I needed to come clean. So I admitted the truth. I said, "Yeah, I lied." I said, "Yeah, I lied." So, um yo, he fucking lost it. He lost it. Like he was so upset with me. And this crushed me because I was like, damn, I didn't think, I tried to explain my point of view. Like, I didn't think, it was necessary to tell the truth because, like, we weren't really together. And I assumed you were doing whatever you was doing. And then he goes, no, he wasn't doing anything. And I'm like, oh, well, then great. Now I feel like a shithead. So he felt so I felt guilty on top of everything that I had, like, on top of lying. I felt guilty. Well, I was already feeling guilty because I knew I had lied, but now I felt worse because he was pouring on more guilt. But whatever. So the next couple of like days after that, like the talks were more like me trying to make up. And I guess when you feel guilty for something you did wrong, you try your best to make it up to somebody that you love, especially. And I guess I was more now with our connection being so close, I was more scared to lose him. And this, like I said, I never realized what love really was. Like I never realized what love really was. So I assumed this all of this feeling, all this connection, all this stuff was love with this other person. And um so I didn't want to lose it. I didn't want to lose it. So I was intent on trying to make up as best I could. So I mean, I would take all that shit. Like he wanted to know every detail, so I'd sit there and go through all the detail, all the people I fucked before him, like all the detail, not all the details, but he wanted to know everybody's name and all of this bullshit, and I'm like, okay, and then if I had unprotected sex with them, or if I didn't, and exactly what we had, like exactly what kind of sex we had, and I did, and I'm like, oh my god, this is kind of embarrassing, but anyways, so I did whatever, did what he said because I felt bad, and then come to find out, I go through because I'm like him too, where I didn't trust him or he didn't trust me. I didn't trust him. So I fucking started stalking, like, yeah, not stalking, but, you know, I guess you could say stalking. Fuck it, stalking his fucking Facebook account and his, well, I don't think IG was out then. Yeah, it was just Facebook. So I started, doing some investigating, found out he had a girlfriend. This motherfucker had a girlfriend the entire time we were talking. So I blew up on him. Like, who the fuck are you to be making me feel guilty for cheating on you when you had a girlfriend? And then, you want to know something real funny? When I went to go visit him in Connecticut, you know, and that present that he had at the back of his car, it was for her. It was her birthday. That weekend I was out there. And you know what? He did have to go somewhere when we were together. He had to leave and go somewhere. He brought that present with him. So he went to go see her. He went to go see her while we were together. While I was visiting him after a while of whatever. After a while of whatever. So this is why this nigga never ever will ever be able to do shit to me again because he did that shit. So, anyways, so he fucking decided um he was gonna still try to play the guilt card and try to guilt me and whatever. And I still felt bad. Even though I knew he was just as wrong as I was, I still felt bad. So I think that shit lasted probably for a while, and it ate. I killed my own self pretty much. Like I pretty much killed my own self esteem, and I became like a really low person because of that. I mean, eventually I gained my strength back because that shit was so fucking annoying to have hearing him going on and on about how I lied and oh you cheated on me, you lied to me. Nigga, you had a girlfriend the whole fucking time. Save that shit. Save that shit, yo. So, anyways, then I don't know. That is, we still was technically we still was together, but and now I have to deal with him having his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, because he said they were broken up, his ex-girlfriend in Connecticut with him, and him technically still having contact with her, which we talked a few times. We still talked a few times on and off. Or they were still talking. They were still talking. Yeah, they were still talking on and off. And then he was supposedly supposed to be with me, but I don't know what was going on with them. But you know how fucking aggravating and how much stress and stuff that puts on you, and how much that eats away at your self-esteem when you're far away from somebody you love while they're doing whatever the fuck they want in the other state. Then you're trying to fucking find out about it on top of this motherfucker that be lying. So whatever. So that you can just imagine was all of that bullshit I had to go through. Eventually, she got out of the picture. She got out of the picture somehow, some way. I guess. I don't know if if she left on her own terms, he got rid of her. I don't fucking know. All I know is that she was in the picture for a long time, and then eventually she just got out of the picture, and we were good again. And he would come to visit. He started to come visiting me, and it was good. And then it was like bad again. It was like really bad. Pretty much, to be honest, our relationship was fucking fighting from the beginning. Like, if you say technically from that day, at like as soon as I got back on base from going to visit him in Connecticut, and he asked about that sex, if I had sex with other people, we were pretty much on and off arguing through the rest of our fucking entire relationship. Nothing in that relationship. I don't remember really much good days of that relationship at all. That shit really brought me down. But anyways, I'll get to the good stuff. So, he came to visit a few times. Now, what happened? I was a pain in the ass because I was very low self-esteem. Now, I was very attention needy. Blah 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 blah. Attention needing, like I needed attention because I didn't trust. I had trust issues already. Fuck, great. Because nigga will lie, make me feel guilty about shit. Now I gotta make sure I'm watching everything I do, making sure I'm not disappointing him. And on top of that, make sure this nigga's not doing stupid shit. So, anyway, then, I'm gonna fast forward here because it's getting late as fuck. Um, so pretty much, let's just say, we just argued back and forth all the time, almost all the time. Um, but I gave this nigga a car. Yep, I gave him a car that he eventually got a new girlfriend and started driving around in that car with. Uh, cheated on me with her and then swears to this day he didn't cheat on me with her, but whatever, I know he did. Got her pregnant. Then he regrets getting her pregnant. That's the funny part. Like, he regretted having like a child with her, but then had a second one. So I don't actually know how honest that, like, I don't really I actually know if that was being honest too. Like, I swear to God, I don't trust this nigga. He's cool people. We cool peoples now, but I still, if I had to rely on him for something, like as far as like if he got put on the stand to tell the truth, like the whole truth and nothing but the truth, I wouldn't believe him. Point. I'm sorry. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And that's just because he's only ever lied to me a lot. So, um, so anyways, going forward, there's a lot of things that happened in this relationship I didn't really get a chance to go into, but I'm, like I said, this stuff is gonna come up later. There's gonna be a book on all of this. Yes, I'm gonna write a real book. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a brief introduction to it. It's so that was Mr. Red's chapter of Mr. Red's chapter. Uh there's more to it. There's a lot more to it. Like, uh, domestic violence. We ended up fighting, 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 fighting. And then I got him thrown in jail. Not once, but twice. Wait, no, once. No, twice. Twice. Or locked up. At least put in handcuffs twice. Put in handcuffs twice. I'll say that. Um, I got, I got, I got him stranded in Nebraska. Almost stranded in Nebraska. Like, without money or anything to any way for him to get home. Yeah, I did that. I got drunk a few nights. Ended up in jail myself. Ended up in jail myself. Uh, a lot of it, I guess, taught me a whole bunch. Like for one, that first one, never to lie. Oh my God, I am so extremely grateful that he taught me that first lesson to never lie because now I don't lie. So niggas can't say shit about, oh, well, you lied. Nah, I didn't lie. I came up and told you I cheated. I came up and told you, yeah, fuck that nigga. So what? Yeah, I did this. Yeah, I did that too. Oh, fucking well. What are you gonna do about it? At least I ain't lie. I'm not lying about it. I'm telling you the truth. Or I'm not gonna tell you shit. But if anybody asks me, if you want to know something and you ask me, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the whole truth, nothing but the truth. It's fucking hilarious though, but he taught me that. He taught me that. So I'm so internally grateful that he taught me that first lesson cuz that one, boy, I've been running with that one ever since cuz that one was a hard lesson. That was a hard lesson I had to learn. Um and then he taught me to never trust anybody just because I really did trust him. Like, I was like, no, that present's just, man, that's probably for his mom's or his, like some cousin or something. No, clearly, I should have spoke up and said something about it the first fucking time I seen it. He probably would have lied about that shit, but then he wouldn't have nothing else to say. But anyways, so, yeah, he taught me that. He taught me a bunch of other stuff too, like a bunch of stuff. But I'll get into that shit later in the book. Um, I know it's late, and if you guys are still hanging with me, I know some of you guys are checking in live, watching live, which is awesome. I hope you go back and watch the whole thing. Um, but I'm glad. You guys, if you are still, I'm fucking tired. I'm ready to go to bed. Um, if you guys are still watching, whatever, I'm glad you guys are still here. Uh, and I appreciate you guys. Once again, I do appreciate everybody who does tune in. Thank you so much. Comments, subscribe, share if you want to. I don't care. Love love you regardless, okay? Um Next week's episode's gonna be the next chapter, and this motherfucker is gonna be called Mr. Yellow. Mr. Yellow. There is a correlation why I picked these colors. I will get to that at the end of the story when I get to the last one. Okay? The last one. 3 stories I said. Number 2 is next week. Mr. Yellow. Tune in. Same time. 12:30 at night on Thursday night or Friday morning, however you want to say call it. Whatever you want to call it. 12:30 a.m. All right. I love you guys. Love you all. Uh, live free. Spread love. Think for yourself. Good night, guys.